What is up, my archfiends of chaos? This is your King of the Night, Vince Valentine EX Turk, with another Final Fantasy segment, and we're going back to 15. I know I said I was going to stay clear for 15 and 7 and 10 for a while, but things just keep coming up, and mostly it's just possible theories that just keep coming up in my head. It just get in my head for some reason. I just can't stop thinking about it. Then when I'm going to sleep, I think about those theories constantly. Well, if I'm not dreaming about certain woohoo stuff, but otherwise I'm dreaming about my theories. But anyways, this is about Gladiolus. Is Gladiolus stronger than Ravus? And I'm talking about current Gladiolus, chapter 13 Gladiolus. Technically, yes, because at this point Gladiolus is powered up because he's actually trained with Core and he's beat Gilgamesh, a task that not even Core could do. He's beat Gilgamesh in battle. And Gilgamesh is super powerful. If Gilgamesh had the power to leave his domain, I'm pretty sure he would have single-handedly defeated the Niflheim Empire. Not only that, but it made him so strong that the man that ends up killing Ravus, well, Arden really does, but you know, Idolus is the one who put a blow to knock Ravus off the ledge, and if he can defeat and if Idolus Outercrap could defeat human Ravus, then when Gladiolus, if Gladiolus and Ignis could blind Ignis, and Gladiolus takes on Idolus's demon form and was able to survive a battle and able to at least land a few good blows before enough to make Idolus disappear and go after Noctis instead, then you could concur that he is stronger than human Ravus. Because after chapter 13, of course, during chapter 13 is way after the Gilgamesh training. You know, before Alticia, you know, which will also lead in the defense of episode Ignis as well, you know, and I'm pretty sure Ignis is going to be a lot stronger as well, but this is about Gladiolus. You know, Gladiolus got the complete training from Core and beat Gilgamesh in battle, thus tripling his strength than he was when he fought Ravus during the Regalia retrieval arc, you know, where they see Ravus for the first time. So at this point, Gladiolus would be a strong, or at least close to an ascended king. And of all the King's Guards, I'd say he and Core ties up real well. Him and Core will tie when it comes to strength and power, because Gladiolus is the second King's Guard member besides Core, because even Gladiolus surpassed his father, the man who couldn't take the trial of Gilgamesh. So you gotta think that's a lot of strength right after. Even though Gladiolus does not use royal arms because he's a King's Guard, you know, he's not King's Glaive, but he's a King's Guard, which, you know, which is just basic military. But even then, Gladiolus did things that the other King's Guard couldn't do. Not even Core could do it, and that's beat Gilgamesh. So, because of his defeat of Gilgamesh, I would imagine it'd make him 10 times stronger. If Ravus was still evil and challenged Gladiolus instead of Idolus in chapter 13, hands down, Ravus Noxflore would have lost in his human form, because, remember, Idolus, in his human form, knocked Ravus off the ledge. Idolus, in his demon form, Theroy, Gladiolus was able to make him retreat. Because, Idolus would never retreat if he was stronger. You know, so that should tell you something already. That he would be stronger than human Ravus. Now, half of it, if it was demon Ravus that Arden tampered with Ravus's biology and turned him into a demon like you saw on the game, then yeah, he would be weaker because, you know, Ravus has surpassed Idolus on the fact that Ravus has two demon forms. Technically, the black form and the purple form. And the purple form is stronger than Idolus and Verstale combined. You know, pretty much Ravus becomes the strongest Niflheim Empire member besides Arden. So, with any of that stuff, I would have to say that Gladiolus is, Gladiolus is stronger. You know, Gladiolus is stronger than human Ravus. He can defeat human Ravus any time at this point. Because human Ravus would have to be, let's see, a step below Idolus in his human form. Now, I'd say human Ravus is stronger than Verstale. Even in Immortalis form, you know. But Gladiolus tripled his strength during the Gilgamesh DLC arc. You know, his strength has tripled since then. Even though he's not Lucius Caelium, he's at the base power of close to an ascended king. One of the strongest Kingsguard guard member ever. I mean, if Claris Amicia was still alive, he'd be proud of his son. He would see that his son surpassed what he couldn't do. He would be proud of his son, Gladiolus. And Gladiolus is powerful. Remember, Gladiolus took on Idolus in his demon form and caused Idolus to retreat. And Idolus, in just his human form, knocked Ravus on the ledge, thus injuring Ravus badly enough for Arden to finish him off. That should tell you something. That should tell you how much power that Gladiolus truly has. You know, I'd say, if anything, if it's possible, Gladiolus would be the strongest, second strongest Final Fantasy. No, third strongest, because there's Noctis after the 10 years has passed, and that's Future Future Noctis, then Arden, then the third strongest character in Final Fantasy 15 would be Gladiolus, because at this point, he could beat Ravus hands down. Now, like I said, not in the demon form, because Ravus's demon form has tripled in strength, and that's why he needed Noctis, Prompto, and Ignis to beat Demon Ravus, because Demon Ravus' first form wasn't all bad, but when he got to the second form, he was even a harder boss fight than Arden was. So I'd say if Ravus would have been in his human form, if Ravus would have stayed in his human form fighting Gladiolus, if Ravus would have stayed in his human form fighting Gladiolus in Chapter 13, Gladiolus would have been able to beat him hands down, no problem. Now, if Ravus would have turned to a demon a lot earlier, then I'd have to say Ravus would be stronger. Unless Gladiolus has Ignis, Prompto, and Noctis by his side, which actually helped the outcome a lot better than it would have been by himself if he was fighting Demon Ravus. Because Demon Ravus is quadruple times stronger than Idolus' demon form. Especially the fact that he's, out of all the Niflheim Empire, Ravus Nox Fleury is the only one that could turn it into two demonic transformations. Even though he can't control it, and it's really Arden taking control of that form, by scientific biology manipulation, still, if Ravus could have controlled that form by himself, I'm pretty sure he could even probably outdo and beat Noctis if Ravus was in control. But Arden was in control, so, Ravus, the human part, actually sabotaged the demon part, or they would have lost. But the only way Ravus would have won again, and the only way Ravus would be stronger than Gladiolus, present Gladiolus, would be, and what I mean by present Gladiolus, I mean Gladiolus after the Gilgamesh trial, is if Ravus would have turned to his demon form, or at least got turned into a demon by Arden, and was able to transform into his two forms, then Gladiolus by himself would be outclassed, and he would have to have Noctis, Ignis, and Prompto to help him take him down. You know, even if they had RNA in the party, you know, Ravus was way overpowered. He was way overpowered. There's a good reason why Ravus Nox Fleury is the High Commander of the Niflheim Empire. Because even Idolus saw his potential, even though Idolus is one who defeated him. You know, if Idolus would have if Idolus would have known about Ravus' transformation, I'm pretty sure he would probably not even mess with Ravus or anything like that. But nonetheless, I think yes, Gladiolus is technically stronger than human, and that's how I'm putting the title. Gladiolus is stronger than human Ravus after the Gilgamesh DLC. You know, and if Gilgamesh could actually leave his domain, if Gilgamesh could leave that domain, since Gilgamesh is actually a spirit, he can't leave that domain. If he was able to leave that domain at any time, the Niflheim Empire would be fucked. Idolus would not even be able to stand up in his demon form, or even Ravus in his demon form. Well, and his demon form could stand up to Gilgamesh because how hard Gilgamesh has fought over the years. Gilgamesh is, in fact, I have a theory that Gilgamesh is actually an old Lucius Caelium. You know, now Arden will be difficult because Arden has immortality due to the Scourge. And maybe Idolus once the Scourge is completed. But nonetheless, human Ravus could not stand up to, let's see, after Gilgamesh Arc DLC Gladiolus. Only if Ravus turns into his demon forms, then Gladiolus would have to add the aid of Noctis, Prompto, and Ignis. Because how strong Demon Ravus was. How strong Demon Ravus was, you know, and this is also This will also go into the theory of why Idolus was threatened by Ravus after his betrayal, because Ravus could tactically overthrow Idolus if Ravus knew how to transform into a demon earlier. You know, there's a good reason why the Niflheim Empire. There's a good reason why the Niflheim Empire did not put too much into Ravus. Only his arm was the demon, was a little bit of the demon power. There is a reason why Versteal didn't put him in full demon form right away, because he could challenge the Emperor and take the Emperor's throne. And Idolus knew this, so he just kept him as a high commander. So, you know, because Idolus is still threatened by Ravus, and I mean, who wouldn't be? You saw him knock Gladiolus back like he was nothing, but only in Ravus' demon form he could beat Gladiolus. But if he was in his human form, but even though, yeah, it's true, Ravus is at this point is a good guy. He's not a bad guy anymore. But let's just say Arden was able to bullshit control him using the Magitech arm that he has on him and force him to fight. He'd be beat easily, and then you'd be turned to a demon, and then everybody would have to jump in. But nonetheless, yes, Gladiolus is technically stronger than human Ravus after the Gilgamesh Arc DLC timeline. So may the crystal be with you. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about this theory. And may the crystal be with you.